Women, be the boss. Demand change when you want it. Stop apologizing so damn much. Men, do what the women say without question.
The Foolishness of Harlem, Episode 1. Women be the boss. Men do what women say without question. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. For today's video, we're going to break down the foolishness of a series called Harlem, starring Megan Good. This series came out last week. Shout out to one of our Patreon supporters, Blue Baggins, who informed us about this series. Thank you very much for your support, brother. Shout out to the Patreon gang. Salute! The original video is going to be on Patreon because we have to respect the YouTube guidelines. That's why you will get a censored and filtered YouTube-friendly version. So if you like what we do and you want to experience our content to the fullest extent, support us on Patreon. This video contains a lot of spoilers, so you've been warned. Now it's time for us to dive into this and do what we have to do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
High above the Himalayan mountains, there is a tribe of people called the Mosuo, living in what has been named the Kingdom of Women. Here the women are openly stronger than the men and entirely in charge. They practice walking marriage. The women choose who they want to be married to. And when things get old or stale, they simply decide, boom, we're not married anymore. And they move on to another husband, and another, and another. And the guy has no say. The woman's pleasure and convenience is all that matters. She's in control, and it's easy, fast, and painless. Must be nice.
Off the bat, they set the tone of the kind of series this is gonna be and what information they are gonna feed their audience. The intro nitpicks specific elements of the Mosuo culture and they present it like this fairy tale for women, using keywords, key sentences like women are stronger than men, she's in control, and it's easy, fast, and painless. The foolishness comes in when you eat this up without doing your research. There are some interesting documentaries online that will give you great insight into the daily lives of the Mosuo people. Check this out.
After the boat ride, Lucy invited me to her house for dinner. She's 32, has a son, and lives in her family home with her mom, sisters, and all their kids. There were no men around. All the women got involved in the dinner preparations. It was fascinating to see how her family was completely self-sufficient, bringing every meal from field to table on their own. The concept of supermarkets is still pretty new to them, and many Mosuo make less than $200 a year, so they're relying on producing their own food.
They live a primitive lifestyle. They live with their families under one roof, multiple siblings and multiple children. They have to grow their own food. A supermarket? That's new to them. And they make around $200 a year. We didn't even talk about social media, internet connections, or pizza delivery services. Modern women have no interest in that part of the Mosuo lifestyle, but they only want to hear that they are stronger and in charge. Check this out.
因为篝火晚会的礼花就是相当于说是摩梭人的一个咋个说来就是男女谈情说爱的一个地方了嘛。如果你在那边有你喜欢的人、心仪的人，然后你就会可以扣他的手心啊，然后再进行一个爬花楼这样的一个过程是这种的。所以都是在晚上，就是所有人睡觉以后，然后你才可以爬花楼。
The intro gives you this impression that women can just pick who they want, without the man having any say about it. And that's not how this works. It's about mutual interest. This is the problem that modern women have today. They can do whatever they want, but they cannot force us to be interested in them. They cannot force us to commit to them. There's also no talk about guys making six figures and going on expensive dates. More about this later. These documentaries will show you that it's not that simple and it's not a fairy tale. Please do your due diligence. Let's continue.
Here, now, in 21st century Harlem, being a woman in total control of her life and love, it's not always easy. One theory on why the Mosuo not only survive but thrive is that they are a tribe of unbreakable sisters.
Hate to break it to you, but the culture is in a steady decline. Remember, it's part of China. They don't get much support from the government, and the new generation of Mosuo have become more integrated with Han Chinese, with many marrying outside of their tribe and moving to larger cities to find work. But that's not the message of this series. Look at the picture. This is about being strong and independent, and you know these modern women love to lead with their college degrees, just like the video we did yesterday. Let's take it a step further.
And luckily, I've got one of those too.
The song that you hear is from Nicki Minaj singing "Wave Your Hand If You Look Good." That's on purpose. This is Megan Good, and she doesn't look too good. Definitely something with her skin, but that's not the biggest deal. She is 40 years old. The audience this series is targeting are those late 30s, early 40s single black ladies that need to hear that they still look good after busting into that undefeated wall, and that it's not their fault that they can't find a man. Check this out.
And that comes to dating too, because the number of actual dateable men is bleak. In Harlem, educated black women are forced to navigate a playing field in which men have significantly more dating options. So it's not that we're desperate or thirsty. We're literally dealing with a real-life man deficit.
Did you see what they just did here? All of those talking points that we've been debunking in the manosphere, they still throw it in women's faces, so they don't have to be held accountable. There are not enough good men out there for us educated women. We're not desperate, we're not thirsty, we are dealing with a real-life man deficit. Bullshit! This is feel-good Kool-Aid. The foolishness lies in women running with these broad statements without checking if this is correct information. Take a look at this clip from Tone Talks, and shout out to the master teacher BGS for reposting this on his channel, because the original video has been removed by Tone Talks.
Because I'm about tired of hearing this. I'm tired of hearing all this dating down nonsense without any numbers. I'm tired of young, uninformed black women sharing articles that are from 2015 and not telling nobody and not knowing how relevant that is. Yeah, they gained $50 trillion in that 6 years. Obama and Trump gave it to them. Now, one of the things that I see a lot of times is people don't understand numbers. Now, this is from 2010, 2012, but incomes have been pretty much stagnated. They've been stagnated the last decade. So this is within range of a few $1,000s up or down. This is the income distribution of all black households. I want you to look at it real close. Let me zoom in so you can see it. We got young black women that might not even have a college education saying, I want somebody who makes six figures. One person. This is households though. This isn't a person. This is a household. Might be 2 or 3 incomes in that house. This is Black America painted out. Look how small the numbers get when you get to 6 figures for a household. Only 5%, or about 6 actually, of black households in 2012 were making more than $100,000, $112,000. Households. You want one person, black man, to be making that, and for him to choose you, and you don't have a college education, and then your lineage is ADOS, and you got children already. And you want to talk about settling. Can we get back to sourdough? If you go into the store with nothing in your pocket and it's wheat or white and they're giving that away, you got to take the wheat or white. Now you can walk out with nothing and be single for 5 years, waiting for that sourdough. Or tell yourself the truth and ask the question, why do I have nothing in my pocket? And part of it is because you talking this settling nonsense.
This is just a little bit of the kind of information that's out there that debunks all of this bull crap these women are running with. They are showing a guy that's tall, dark, and handsome because other guys are invisible. That's exactly what this scene represents. Women only seeing one particular man. They know how to please their audience. Keep it superficial, tell them what they want to hear, and don't hold them accountable. That's exactly what we do. And we bring receipts. And with all this education, they can't seem to figure this out. Shit.
Which leaves us with 2 options. we reassess our deal breakers and widen the pool, or we hold firm to our wish list.
Welcome to the world of unrealistic expectations.
So yes, I'm here to say we are not Mosuo. But this week, what if we were? I want you to try to live like Mosuo. Women, be the boss. Demand change when you want it. Stop apologizing so damn much. Men, do what the women say without question. I want us to get out of those comfort zones and give me 500 words on what that was like. Class dismissed.
This is exactly why I dropped out of college. Those feminist teachers pushing their agenda on you. This is what they want, guys. It's supremacy. Women be the boss. Men do what the women say without question. Women want you to shut the F up. They only want you to talk when it's to their advantage. And that's exactly what you see in this series. Everything is catered to them. These women can do whatever the F they want without question. And when they fail, they will find a way to blame it on men or patriarchy, the foolishness. And another thing you might have missed, she's teaching cultural and social anthropology. So she probably has a degree in anthropology and archaeology. And that's one of the most useless college degrees. Time and time again, 9 out of 10 times, anthropology and archaeology are on the list of the most useless college degrees. Let's read why. Anthropology and archaeology. If you love history, travel, and being outside, a degree in anthropology and archaeology might sound appealing. However, unless you're ready to spend your time and money receiving a PhD in the field, plus spend years as an underpaid intern or research assistant, this career path probably isn't for you. Anthropology is the study of humanity and its cultures, while archaeology is the study of human history through excavation. Those who graduate with a degree in anthropology and archaeology may hope to spend time on a historical excavation site, or at least in a museum studying the findings. However, these jobs are few and far between. While a prestigious doctorate from Harvard or Yale may land you at an excavation site, it's likely that the majority of degrees won't even get you out of your backyard. Those who are unable to make it in this field may search elsewhere, but have a hard time finding a job. A lot of these strong and independent women are proud of their useless degrees, not understanding that the purpose of a degree is to lead to a place in the labor market. It should increase your chances of getting a job. So if the market is saturated, your degree is useless. And to take the foolishness a step further, they go into debt for these useless degrees. Women carry 2/3 of student loan debt, and black women are leading the charge, owning 22% more student debt than white women on average. And that's exactly the agenda of this series. Serve these women that feel-good Kool-Aid to keep them appreciating the things that don't matter, like these useless degrees and a false sense of power and independence. Are you still surprised why these so-called strong and independent women are looking for sponsors?
That was amazing. Professor, I have something for you.
Thank you, Malik. Again.
You're welcome. And by the way, if you want to help me with the assignment, I would be happy to get out of my comfort zone and eagerly do whatever you say.
Malik, it's against Columbia's rules and frankly my moral code for me to date a student. Goodbye, Malik.
Older women have a hard time accepting that the ride is over. Getting serious attention from younger men is most likely not gonna happen. We'll get back to Malik later. Let's get into another aspect of the feel-good Kool-Aid.
I didn't work with you all these years to let that happen. I was waiting to surprise you. As soon as the budget's in, I'm gonna move the money to have you join the department full time. I promise.
Thank you.
She gets promoted, and this is the first episode. When movies and series focus on women, they tend to skip the female character's journey that leads to the achievement of her goal. The grind, the hardships, rejection, failure is not part of the story. She basically gets the job done very easily. We covered it in our marriage story breakdown with Scarlett Johansson. You can also see it in the last Star Wars movies, with Rey played by Daisy Ridley. Most Netflix movies and series are full of this shit. They do this on purpose because women don't like it when things are tough, when there is fear and self-doubt. That's why these men in these movies are a bunch of buffoons, to make these women appear strong. And this series does exactly the same. Check this out.
I'm a grown-ass woman, and I'm of two minds. No, and f***ing hell no. But thanks for dropping by, Rick.
You sure you want to? I mean, surely you can weigh in here.
My assistant? You are my assistant to weigh in on my decision.
Oh, he's your... Really?
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna make a separate video about this scene because this is not how things go, especially not on that level. They call this comedy? Swap the genders. Let a man do that to a woman. See how funny that is. But women eat this up. When we talk about black women having nasty attitudes, they are in denial, but they support this foolishness. These reality TV shows where they consistently make a fool out of themselves keep returning. Why would that be?
Oh no, oh my god, duck. What the fuck? Right there at the end of the corner.
I do, what's up?
Holy shit.
Ian. Can't get...
This is where the strong and independent woman fails. She can do everything by herself. She doesn't need a man. But to have it all, she needs to have a man. Why is this man important? Because women want to be adored, and if they can't get the adoration of men, something's wrong. You have your degrees, your career, but men are not interested. That's not a good thing. This is where it becomes clear that this is another Sex and the City clone, but it's not on that level. Credit is given where credit is due. When you look at Sex and the City's first season, there is great character development, great script, great dialogue between the main characters. Every episode has a theme, and the main characters experience this theme in their own way. Even though they had a negative influence on women, they did it with a good concept. What we are watching right now is based on a template. They have to check all of the boxes: diversity, LGBTQ, push the stereotypes, feminist narrative, woman is strong, man is stupid, etc. And now it's hard to find good movies because it's all based on the same template. What you see is forced, it's not necessary. With Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw is a New York City newspaper columnist, party girl, fashionista, and later freelance writer for Vogue. Her weekly column, Sex and the City, provides the title, storylines, and narration for each episode. The series made sense. Harlem has no substance, it's like mumble rap. The words don't matter, just the feel of it.
I'm not sure how to take that.
He probably got him a nice little French fry he keeping it tight for.
No, she black. Camille 2.0. Am I right?
How would I don't know. And even if Ian does have a girlfriend, which to be clear, I don't care if he does, what does her race have to do with anything?
Kind of everything. If she's black, be cool. You don't want that bad karma. But if she's white...
Fair game. Stealing a black man from a white woman is not an act of treason. It's an act of bravery.
Well, whatever. How would I know if Ian has a girl? Okay, fine. Yes. I cyberstalked his ass and I got nothing.
Stealing a black man from a white woman is not an act of treason, but an act of bravery. The foolishness of these strong and independent women fails when men do not worship them. Especially when the men that you covet are jumping the fence. This fucks the sisterhood up. It makes them furious because this is about power. This is about supremacy. And black women hate it that they can't control their men. Remember this?
Women, be the boss. Demand change when you want it. Stop apologizing so damn much. Men, do what the women say without question.
You're not supposed to have standards. You're not supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to worship. And this is why they do a terrible job raising our sons. They're not raising you to be strong. You need to worship mama and the sisterhood. And don't you dare ask any questions.
Don't ask. I said don't ask. I said don't ask. No questions. Just give the money.
Now it's time to get back to Malik. Check this out.
Malik, hoping for a date seems like an odd reason to adjust your academic schedule.
And yet, I'm going to pick up your phone, put my number in, be in control. Call me if you want. And I think you should want.
This is essential for these strong and independent women. The man has to approach. She wants to be in control. She wants to be the boss, but you have to approach. So when the guys that she wants don't approach her, she has a problem, because that means she's not in control. She's not the boss, and to take it a step further, she's not the prize. Sanaa Lathan was single for a long time. Check this out.
Thank you. So you came on strong to him at the bar.
Yes.
Which for those of us women who are outspoken and who aren't scared to come on strong, that's no big deal. But there are a lot of women, they would never.
Yeah, I would never.
That's you in real life?
Yeah. I'm kind of the kind of person who I can only flirt if I'm not attracted to you. If I'm attracted to you, I can't even look at you, you know?
I get it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, it takes a lot. I get very shy.
She had to make a move and not be in control. And this is one of women's biggest fears: rejection. That's why you cannot ask questions, because when you ask questions, you will figure out the truth. And you will stop worshiping her and reject her ass. She can only pick you if you make yourself available to her. That's why this dynamic always returns in these series. The man approaches, makes a move, and of course, he has to be a buffoon.
Right then, when it seemed like the choice I made was exactly what I needed. That I was Mosuo, taking what I want.
Take charge.
He wanted something else. And the worst thing ever was staring me right in the face.
So this dude wants to get his ass licked. Just like that. Never talked about it. The first time they're about to get busy, he decides to just raise his legs and says, take charge. I knew something was gonna happen, because women have to blame their singleness on men. It's always men's fault. They are not educated. They are in prison. On the down low, they want to get their butt crack licked. Men are trash, men are trash, men are trash. I watched the first episode of Harlem and I'm not impressed. I will give credit where credit is due. Just like I gave Sex and the City credit. Harlem just caters to black women's ego. A lot of unnecessary scenes. Like I've said before, things are forced because of the checklist. According to IMDb, this is a comedy, and this says a lot about female humor. Because this series is for women, black women in particular. Personally, I don't think it's funny, but I understand where they were trying to be funny. The butt crack, to give you an example. As a cameraman and video editor, I do like the way it's shot, and I like the pace of the episode. The music fits the series. Some of the tracks in this episode were really nice. Character development is meh. There's nothing special about Megan Good's character. What's her story? What is she trying to accomplish? At the end of the day, it's about men. She has all this control, but she doesn't have a man. It makes things flat. The other three ladies don't have anything that you would like to see. I'll watch the next episode to see if there's anything interesting to discuss. Patreon supporters, salute! Thank you for your support. Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.